I am back to talk about episode 2 and 3 of season 3 of The Circle on Netflix. We get right into the clone twist, and I had read online that this was actually a twist in the UK version, season 3. I've only seen season 1 and 2 of the UK version of The Circle, both good seasons. I hear season 3 is good too, but there's just been so much to watch this year, and I've been doing so much that I have never really had a chance to get around to watching The Circle UK season 3. But yes, the clone twist has been done before. And I don't know where I stand on it, honestly. To me, it's not quite as bad as the Joker twist in season 2. The Joker twist was super overpowered. This one, at least, there was actual some strategies to it. I mean, there was strategy to the Joker twist, I guess, but it was just overpowered strategy. Whereas this, it's kind of like 50-50 strategy in a way. I know there was a commenter. I'll get to that. Hopefully, I remember to do that. But let's get into the clone twist and Ava and Chanel choosing to clone Michelle and become the new Michelle, Blue Michelle, whereas real Michelle was Orange Michelle with the circle around it. I think choosing Michelle is probably the easy target. Catfish as the older woman around all these younger players. The smartest thing Ava and Chanel did was like jump ahead of it. Like as soon as they got a chance to talk, once it was revealed there were two Michelles, they talked first, and I think that alone really set the tone for what was happening between the rest of the players trying to figure out the two Michelles. It seems like this twist was popular on the Circle UK. I keep wanting to say BB UK. It's been years since BB UK, but the Circle UK. It seemed like this twist was popular. Um, I don't know if it's as popular this time. I think the US version, the twists and the production of the twists doesn't help because last season they were just really shoving Courtney down our throats. And now they're trying to shove Ava and Chanel down our throats. And it's like the producers of the US version of the show, like Mean Girls, trying to make fetch happen. And it just ain't fucking happening. Courtney was so fucking grating, one of the more grating produced characters I've watched on any of these shows. And Chanel and Ava are like half boring, half annoying, to me anyway. So I would have much rather the real Michelle stayed in this game than Ava and Chanel. But the overproduced twists have to, work, I guess, quote unquote, for it to seem interesting. But yeah, the fake Michelle wins. The real Michelle ended up getting sent home. We'll talk a little bit about some of the stuff that happened before that, though. Kay, who was so talking about her fucking BS meter, was sniffing up all the fucking bullshit because she thought right off the bat that the fake Michelle was the real Michelle. And once she made up her mind, it seemed like she didn't want to change. So once she had doubts about the real Michelle being the fake Michelle, she just kept going with the wrong gut. Not a great gut on Kay right now. It seemed like Matthew was smart there for a while. He's the one playing Ashley. It seemed like his gut instinct was right, but he got swayed after the fake Michelle, Ava and Chanel, pulled him and I think Roxana into a chat together and kind of convinced them to go to their side. And I think after that conversation, it was smart of Chanel and Ava to bring up the scores from the last round to make it seem like, oh, this is the real Michelle because they're talking about the scores from the last round. That was at least a smart game move right there. Then it seemed like real Michelle really had Daniel. Daniel was convinced that the real Michelle was the real Michelle. But even in the end, Daniel even voted the real Michelle out of the game, which I think hurt Michelle's feelings. And you would think that when the real Michelle was talking about her Clemson shirt in that picture, that would have been very believable. Clemson being a South Carolina fucking school. But I think a lot of these players in the circle are looking dumb right now. This cast is pretty fucking dumb. Let's be real. Not the brightest of people in this season of the circle. I think that was the gist of the Michelle clone twist. And I did like when the real Michelle brought the fake Michelle's into a chat together and started lambasting them about what they're doing in the game. Of course, this is a game. So, and then after she was voted out, she went to visit the fake Michelle's, and they had a pretty good talk about it being a game, I guess, at least. One of the other things was the photo of her wedding picture and having those bangs and that hairstyle in 2000. I mean, that kind of annoyed me too, because it's like we're not all the most stylish of fucking people. She's a country girl. You really think she's gonna have an up to date style in the year 2000? Come on, it's not like the early 2000s were the most stylist of eras. It was like a style. It was an era trying to find itself after the 90s. Some other things of note in these two episodes, we had Nick and Calvin broing it up. They had that conversation, that bro conversation with Daniel in it. Daniel trying to fit in with the bros. And then we had Nick flirting with Ashley, who's of course really Matt, even though Ashley's profile came off as a lesbian, but then Matt wanted to maybe say Ashley is bi instead so he could keep flirting with Nick through this Ashley character he's playing. But Nick definitely doing the flirting, because we had two new characters in episode 3. Sophia is playing Isabella and Rachel is playing Jackson. Nick ending up flirting it up with Isabella towards the end of that episode. So we got two new catfishes. It's all making sense now why they started with so little catfishes in the first episode, like I talked about in my first video, because they wanted to do this twist. And of course, they wanted the twist to be on a real person rather than Ava and Chanel to pick a catfish, so that there's two different people playing a catfish, which I still think would have been pretty funny. The other big note to me, like I kind of talked about yesterday, and Calvin reminded me a dot on this channel, Calvin's social game, fucking great. I think his positivity is coming across through everyone. They played this game where they had to post old pictures of themselves. Rakshana posted a picture of her full self showing that she has dwarfism, and this Calvin was the first one after that. Even though two new people were introduced, Calvin right away, always being the first person to talk during the group chats, and he was talked about Rakshana making a big statement, being herself, showing herself. I like that. Calvin's game right now on a social level in this, what is a big social game. The Circle is massively a social game. So yeah, he's probably the front runner right now. I would say he has bro connections. He has that connection with Kay. Rakshana likes him. So his social game, pretty damn good. Kay and Jackson talked as well. They had a little flirt thing going. Jackson getting played by Rachel though. But so that's another developing situation. Kay has a good social game herself, but as we've seen, she thinks she has a great BS meter. It's not good. But I think that was the main points of these two episodes. The clone twist, how I feel overall. Well, first, honestly, let's get to the comments on the premiere video that I had before I recorded this video. Vibe Guy said they really effed up this one. I asked him why. He said they didn't give Michelle a fair shot at all. Vibe Guy said, screwed her over just to keep someone younger for ratings. Completely unfair, singling one player out on day one, which with such a huge disadvantage. He then said, who's already at a disadvantage because older people are always first to go. True. I then talked to him about the Joker twist, and I think this is a really big issue with me with the Circle, is that all of their twists innately seem to screw someone over. It really helps someone who's already eliminated out really good, while screwing someone else who wasn't eliminated over. Because with the Joker, it killed Tara Alicia's game, who was, in my opinion, killing the game at first. But then the Joker twist completely was able to turn her into a bad guy in the thoughts of a lot of players in the game. So she gets penalized for playing a good game, where Courtney's grading ass got an advantage. And then this season's were even worse because Ava and Chanel, first boots, but get this big twist, get to screw over Michelle, and then Michelle's out. So the twist on the circle really hurt the show for me because it's always someone getting screwed over, but then helping people whose games suck. And it's only season 3. Like, calm down with the twists. Maybe I had a lot of twists in Online Survival 3 and Online Isolation 3, so maybe I shouldn't talk. Bonita Tucker also left a reply on the video, said, thanks so much for the review. You're welcome. Then she said, Michelle reminded me of Paula Deen every time she spoke. I don't know if that's good or bad. And then when the one sister asked Michelle about kissing the dog again, that was wild to me that she had to explain to them the reasoning. Yeah, when Michelle went and met up with Ava and Chanel after she was eliminated, they asked her about the dog thing again. And like I said yesterday, white people are nasty. Well, that was episode 2 and 3. I'll try and do a review of 4. We'll see if. I mean, the season's okay so far. It's nothing to write home about. It is what it is. But I will try and talk about episode 4 sometime this weekend after I actually get a chance to watch it.